I was sent from Colchester, from Richmond.
Yes.
A major came up from the War Office. Apparently they wanted men to go on garrison duty out in Archangel, you see. They were guarding a very big compound where all the stores and everything was kept, you see. We had to have armed guard on. And this battalion, when I joined them at Colchester, they'd been turned in to go to Zeebrugge in that landing there, you know.
Yes, I know.
And then they decided to take the Marines in place of them. And they were sent down to Glasgow and out to Archangel. Well, there was 18 picked Cossacks and 3 British, that's all there was.
And this was going outwards from Archangel?
Going outwards, and we left Archangel on the Saturday, 8th of March. And the blizzard was blowing. Oh, when you got on the truck, you could hardly see one horse in front of the other. You know, it was that thick. And the trams was running in Archangel, and these country-bred horses were dancing about in streets, you know, with sledges.
Yeah.
We had 36 sledges. And the old chap had owned 2 of them. He put our kit in one, and he rode with us in another one. There was a sergeant and this old Russian and me. And the old mare that was in front was mother of this horse that was in our sledge. He was a black and a bit of white about him, like, and of course he followed. We had no reins. They didn't bother with no reins. You see, when you're travelling on a track, you see, here was your track, here was the ground. Well, once they got off that, they were in deep snow. They had to keep on the track. And we trekked through the forest. And then when it come to bad going, we'd slip down the river bank and travel on frozen river. It was just like going on that. You see, there was no bumps, no nothing. I had a rough trekking through the forest. We were 3 days in danger zone, where they could send a patrol out, catch anybody using track, you know, and ambush them on the way up. And we had a machine gun on the front sledge, a machine gun on the back sledge, and we all had rifles and revolvers loaded ready for action. On 3 days and 3 nights. No, we got through and got past them.
Yeah.
3 hours. They had a rough passage coming through. The reindeers had failed them, and there were a lot on foot. But they'd managed through all right.
Yeah.
You see, the trouble with reindeers, their natural food is a coral moss. It's a white coral moss, and grows in forests, in beds, you know.
Yes.
That's what they live on. Well, when they can't get it, when snow covers it up, they don't eat well, you know, they don't eat enough to keep the stamina up. That's why we had to disband them after we tried them for 3 days. They couldn't keep it up because they weren't getting the natural food, you know. We went back to horses.
The horses were better, you reckon, in the long run? Because
They couldn't do as far in a day, but they were better. They were hardy, used to it, you see.
Yes.